the World Trade Organization (WTO) has just issued an important warning. Global trade in goods is expected to decline by 2025. North America is trending with a 12.6% drop in export, and developing countries are predicted to be the hardest hit. At the same time, the world financial leaders are gathering to discuss tariff policies that are fueling global uncertainty. What are the causes of this tension, and how will it affect the world, especially for other countries? Let's find out more in our from this time. Good morning everyone, I am James and today I'm very pleased to be hosting a discussion forum on the global economy with the topic World Trade Organization, one of the trade risks amid weakening 2025 outlook. With me are two outstanding speakers. Our first speaker Natasha, an international economist, and second speaker Margareta, policy analysis. Welcome Natasha and Margareta. From the WTO prediction, we say global trade in goods grow by 0.2% by 2025. It could even be worse, up to 1.5%. Natasha, can you explain what are the main causes of this decline?
Yes, Mr. James, there are two key factors. First, rising trade tension explained from the U.S. tariff policy. Second, policy uncertainty that describe countries for exporting and importing on the large scale. When policy direction is unclear, business tend to hold back international expansion in investment. This has a direct impact on the global trade volumes. The most affected of the development countries such as North America, with a decline in export of up to 20.6%. This decline is not just a number, it reflects now job loss on a broader decline in economic activity. The WTO prediction signal therefore need to be taken seriously by the policy makers.
Wow, it's a very big number, isn't it?
Right, Mr. James?
Margareta, Ms. Natasha has said the decline is predicted to reach 12.6%. So how will this decline impact developing countries?
Developing countries are still very dependent on export of raw material and commodities. So when global demand falls, their revenue automatically fall as well. This can make it more difficult for them cover the state budget, especially if their debt is high. This situation can narrow the remedy from the profit social assessment of subsidy. In the end, the most affected are the small people and long-term development. So this slowdown is not just an import-export issue, but I can spread to social issue and national stability.
Well, yes, the impact can actually go everywhere. So it's not just about buying and selling between countries, but it can affect our daily lives too. By the way, Margareta, I heard this week there is an IMF and World Bank spearing meeting in Washington. In the midst of this situation, what's being discussed there?
The main focus to the US tariff issue, especially negotiation with Japan and South Korea while when expansion. Unfortunately, with issues like development review of finance were first asset. There were also concurrent about the direction of energy policy, including possible support for gas and nuclear project the U.S. not farmer.
Well, it's getting more complex. Now, Natasha, from a macroeconomist perspective, does the current situation make financial markets shaky?
It could because the symptoms are really starting to snow. Mr. James, last week, for example, the US stock market folded quite snappily more than 2%, and then the peers as good immediately sold to $3,500 per ounce, which a record high. Actually, one investors start to worry. The rush to suffer asthma like wool, interesting investors from China start to wait from interesting US trade fund due to process from the government. All of this know that their tension are just a problem at the negotiation table. They space never over into the financial war as well.
Given the current situation, how exactly are Europe and India positioned in the face of global trade tension? Are they just going along for the ride, or do they have their own strategy in place?
In my opinion, the role of the EU in that link with global trade tension is so tension. Instead of responding with protection measure, the EU is trying to be a mediator that allows multilateral comparatives. On example, in a Thai effort to help the US adjust in gas export to meet EU methane emission standard. This total commitment to my global trade stability are more collaborative and sustainable approach. Meanwhile, India has also considerable economic resilience. Amid global uncertainty, India has been able to maintain economic growth thanks to high domestic demand and favorable months project. In addition, influence has also supported economic stability. To me, steps like this can serve an example of how countries can respond to global challenges in a strategy and responding manner.
Wow, it sounds more serious than ever. So is there possibility of a global recession if trade tension continue?
If the WTO worst case scenario actually happens, where global trade falls by 1.5%, the impact could be enormous, like a domino effect that spread to various sectors. A 20.6% drop in export in North America alone. This is thought to create a hard smoke the global market. We have a low level in the industrial in manufacturing sector, which in turn impact people purchasing power overall and economic growth. To make matter worse, developing countries and vulnerable economic will be first and hardest hit. They lay heavily on export of goods, the service as well as forced investment force. This policy uncertainty and the risk and the fall of tariff. In first commerce, those conflicts we will see a liquid force increased debate and high financial market volatility.
Before we close this session, I would like to hear your final thoughts. What do you think are the most relevant solutions or key messages for us to take into the future? Margareta, please the first.
Multilateral comparative must be the Mr. James. Countries can just go along with protection policy. We need to support each other, not only for economic interests, but also to maintain global social stability. If we can sit together and find solutions together, it will be even harder to get out of the crisis.
Yes, I totally agree. Countries also focus on understanding their domestic economic relations, but still open up opportunity for constructive negotiation at the international level. No one can service allow in. This includes what the cooperation in adoption are key for the future of the global economy.
Thank you very much, Natasha and Margareta, for a very interesting discussion today. And of course, thank you to all of you for listening today Global Economic Discussion Forum. We all agree that global trade tension and growing protectionist policies which worsening the world economic situation. The main solution that argued was the importance of strengthening multilateral cooperation and maintaining openness for constructive negotiation. Countries also need to build domestic economies, resilience in order to survive the global uncertainty. All parties must realize that we all interdependent, and only by working together can we face the challenge together. That's all for today, and hopefully this will give us insight into how to face the challenging future of the global trade. Stay critical, stay interested, and don't be complacent in your quest for knowledge. I'm James, as the moderator of the Global Economic Discussion Forum, would like to take my leave. See you in the next exciting chat. Bye bye.